don't do as much traveling, but you've traveled around the Southeast a lot, and you would pilot the guys there in your own
Yes.
plane. Do you
Yeah.
still do that at all?
You know, my eyes are not what they were, and I quit flying about a year ago. I mean, I ride, but I didn't want to kill anybody, especially me. So I reluctantly gave up the flying. But
Okay.
so we
Do you
get
still have the plane, or
still got the plane, the company plane, and so and Tracy Willingham flies for us, so he'll fly left seat. I can ride right seat if I want to, or I've ridden the back, but he'll take us where we need to go. Theft proof, and that was a take on.
Yeah, Frank McDonald's comments on that just knocked me out. You know, you can leave this album in the front seat of a car, and it'll be there.
It'll be there several days.
Be gone.
Yeah, the car may be jacked up on cinder blocks. The radio may be forcibly removed from the dash panel, but that CD will be right there where you left it. So we thought theft proof was a pretty good one. And then this was stolen from Dalton Roberts originally, but we took it on as if it were our own, and that was Singing from the Heart Through the Nose. And we named another CD that. We picked that one up. That's a little too true, isn't it?
Folks, we have a lot of merchandise up here with us. A record album that many of you have had a shot at before. Many of you have passed it by. But it's not too late. We still have some. A seller you would expect to pay from $7.50 to $8.95 in any of the record stores. We're getting $10 for this album, folks, and I think that would only have to explain that by saying that, and as the fiddle player threw that one out into the audience, that became one less album that we're ever going to have to try and sell. We have them available in rather unlimited quantities. If you don't want to make your commitment tonight, I think you've got 6, 7, maybe 8 years to decide, judging from the supply on hand and the way they're selling. The album is, of course, a theft-proof album, so we don't worry about that, or at least it's turned out to be theft-proof. We believe that you can leave that album lying in the front seat of an unlocked automobile, come back 4 days later, and the record album will be right there where you left it. Your car may be jacked up on cinder blocks, and the radio may have been forcibly removed from the dash panel, but the record album, you can bet, is going to be safe right there where you left it. So
a good warm feeling right now.
It's a warm feeling to have a record album that you know you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. An excellent hedge against inflation for those of you who are interested in things like that. Be sure and get one on your way out.
Keep on the Sunny Side was the second album that you guys did, right?
Yes, that was a gospel album.
Right. And I remember when that album was getting airplay all over the Chattanooga area. That album touched a chord with a lot of people.
Really, I didn't think anybody listened to it much.
You know that album got a lot of airplay around town.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Now I took it around to the various people, probably Earl Friedenberg, anybody that would accept it. I delivered it to them. Yes, we tried to get it exposed, but.
Well, and here she comes with a fiddle. I'm going to ask. The song "Keep on the Sunny Side" is an incredible song. Would you consider playing just a small little bit of that?
Keep on the Sunny Side?
Yeah. Would you consider doing that?
Sure. You know, when we did it with the old band, we just sang the chorus as sort of a, Frank McDonald would say, I can almost quote him, thank you so much, friends and neighbors, as that, you know, it's not goodbye, it's just so long, and until we see you next time, and until then, we would remind each and every one of you to, and then strike the chord, and he'd say, keep on the sunny side, and then we sing it.
Many of you, I'm sure, wondering where you can hear us next. Where does this band go after a big show like this, that you might have the opportunity to once again hear us sing and get another shot at those record albums that we take along with us? And I'm here to tell you that as far as this band is concerned, this wraps it up for us. We don't go anywhere from here. So if any of you know of anything going on, why, certainly we have a calendar chock full of choice open dates. Folks, we want to tell you that one thing we've learned after all these years in show business is to look out there in that sea of faces in the audience and see those expressions. It says somebody out here needs some relief. We're about to give you that. We want to tell you, though, that after our part of the show, we'll be back in the back of the room autographing pictures and chatting with you, trying to show you that we're just ordinary people like everybody else. We want to tell you, though, that being down here in Ringgold at the railroad station has been a real treat for us tonight. We want to invite everybody to come down, and until we see you again, we want to say to each and every one of you that it's not goodbye, but just so long until next time, and until we see you again.
Keep on that sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on that sunny side of life. He'll help you every day, brighten on your way. If you keep on that sunny side of life. Well, keep on that sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on that sunny side of life. He'll help you every day, brighten on your way. If you keep on that sunny side of life.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It'll help you every day, it'll brighten all your way. If you keep on the sunny side of life. That's kind of rough, isn't it?
That's incredible.
But then, you know, later we would do. There's a bright and a sunny side. That's kind of the way we would do it. It's actually a hymn, you know, but when we did it with the original band, we revved it up and played it real fast up in that other key.
Do you guys ever do, I don't recall you ever doing one of my favorite all-time songs in the history of the world is Faded Love. Did you guys ever record that?
Yeah, I think we did.
I've never heard you guys.
Yeah, we did that a
Wow.
lot. We did that a lot, and we did it with the symphony one time at the Tivoli one time.
That's one of my favorites.
I love it. I love it.
For whatever reason, I've never heard you guys do that in a live performance.
Well, the old band did it regularly. The new band, not so much. We could still do it, but it's not one of our standard. If somebody requested it, we would have to kind of. It's hard to sing it. You have to change keys to do it right, and you have to kind of decide who's going to sing where and when to modulate it and all that business.
You say it best when you say nothing at all.
Allison Krauss showed up in Chattanooga to do a show or concert or some kind of an event.
Miller Plaza, yeah.
And she got here and discovered that she left her instrument in Nashville.
Yeah.
And so you get a call.
I get a call and they say Allison Krauss is performing, and can she borrow a fiddle? I didn't have quite the big collection that I've accumulated, but I took 3 fiddles over there for her to try out, and she picked the best one without any hesitation. So she played my fiddle for the first half of the show. Her mother drove over from Nashville and delivered her fiddle for the second half, and she was heading out on the road, so she had to have it. But yeah, that was fun, and she thanked me from the stage.
It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. And makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that have dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the river.
Now, I know for a fact that you were invited to the John Hartford 3-day Christmas parties.
I would go over there for the 3 days. And initially, I would go over there in the early afternoon, and we'd start playing. And we'd play until the late hours. I'd drive back to the Nashville airport, fly home, go to bed, come down here for about a half a morning, get back on the airplane, fly back to Nashville, and you go to day number 2, do the same routine. And by day 3, I was so worn out, sometimes I just have to just not be able to do it. I finally realized I needed to spend the night over there and get a motel room. But it was one grand party of 3 days.
3 days? Wow.
And if you saw Emmylou, I was playing or singing with her. Can you believe that? And you saw me over there playing with Bill Monroe.
Now, is it true, someone said, you did, when she first came there, you didn't know who she was? You didn't recognize Emmylou Harris?
The next day, I asked one of the guys, I said, who was that good-looking girl I was singing with last night? He said, that was Emmylou Harris. I probably wouldn't have done it if I'd known, so maybe it was all right.
Wow.
But Bill Monroe would show up, Roy Acuff would show up, Oswald, Pete Kirby played he would show up, Doug Dillard, just about who's who would be there, and it was a great party.
Okay. I have a question for you. Same question I asked Luther and a lot of my friends. At some point in the future, when I'm gone, when you're gone, when we're all gone, how do you want to be remembered?
Wow.
And I can cut that out if you don't want to answer that.
I guess I've had more fun playing music than just about anything. just the pure joy of playing music. And you know, I've tried to share it. You know, I've done that with my fiddle book. I make that available. I purposely never charge anybody for it. You know, and I've tried to do that with the teaching because it was so hard for me to learn. I've tried to make it maybe a little easier for people. So I'd like for that. I've also tried, to the extent I'm financially able, to give money to different causes that I like, and that's been a real joy because I couldn't do it for a long, long time. I probably shouldn't do it now, but I can kind of see my way to the end of the rope without, you know, being a burden on anybody. So that is fun. And I guess then the next thing I think about is my son George is going to go up to my house and say, what in the world are we going to do with all these fiddles? And I hope he doesn't give them away. You know, when my wife was alive, she kept a governor on my collection. You know, I'd be scared to come home with a new fiddle. Now there's no, you know, no recriminations or apologies or explanations required. I just do it.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time to talk to us here. I really,
Well,
really do.
You've got.
Would you consider maybe one more, a little? I keep on the sunny side here, and I want to get over here on the.
You know, frequently we go off today with Sal and I went blackberry picking. We all got drunk. Sal got a licking. Had a piece of pie, had a piece of pudding, and I give it all away just to hug Sally Gooden. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It lasts forever.
Oh man, that's great. Fletcher, please, would you consider just one more, please? Then we'll get out of your hair.
Okay.